front of these drums and you learn how to do it correctly, it goes through not only your body, but your soul. And it's really, I believe, a wonderful experience. So rather than talk too much, I'm going to turn it over to Nick. And we're so glad you're back and better. You look good.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And tell us what we're going to do.
We're going to drum. My name is Nathan. I'm with Seattle Hand Drummers. We're a local nonprofit community organization. Really happy to be back in University House and the Era Living organization. So what we're going to do today is going to have some fun. But we're going to work on some fundamentals and some team building engagement through the drum. So what we're gonna do in regards to that is our signature boom boom diggy play shop. We call it a play shop because we're having fun. We're definitely not working, right? So we'll go over some of the basic techniques and fundamentals of drumming. We'll go over a few hand signals so you can follow me without me having to speak or shout or use the microphone. We'll get into an easy rhythm. Then we'll work into our boom boom diggy play shop, followed by a drum song, and we'll have a couple other vocal patterns. So Seattle Hand Drummers, we've been doing this for about 10 years now. We started as a local small drum circle down at Gasworks Park. Over the years, through gained experience, we've been invited to come to many local organizations and schools, churches, birthday parties and other events to perform and play and teach. All of our activities are always interactive. Whether it's a performance or a party or a private event, we always get everybody involved. Whether it's clapping and dancing and singing or using our percussion pieces, which I highly recommend. If you have a drum, feel free come up and grab one of these or ask me to bring you one. It's a lot of fun, especially when we do our drum song. We like to mix it up and add lots of other elements and musicality to make our rhythms and songs more full. So we're adding another layer or element to what we do. I think that's a good lead-in. We'll do some more Q&A, and as I'm directing, I'll let off a little bit more of what we do and how you can reach us and how we interact in our community a little bit more and some up and coming events. So everyone has, let me put this down here. Everyone has a drum or a piece of percussion? Even you in the back. So we'll get started. First, I like to fix the microphone stand. Everyone just to take a big deep breath in with me, just hold it and let it out. All right. So before we start drumming, we got to loosen up a little bit. This is what I like to call shaking out the sloppy. So everyone with me, get them down low, nice and high. Those ones on the edge of your fingertips, on your thumbs, on your head. Just kidding. So we'll go around the room real quick so I can get to know you a little bit better. And what I'd like to do is just introduce yourself. You can just say your name and give me a little diddle on the drum. And we'll go this direction. My name is Nathan. Hi.
My name is Sarah.
Sarah.
My name is Erica.
Erica.
My name is Irene.
Irene.
My name is Debbie. I'm Erica's daughter.
Wow.
My name is Will.
Will.
My name is Anna.
Anna. I like it.
My name is Joanne.
Joanne. Betty.
This is Ula.
Ula?
Okay.
My name is Bernie.
Bernie.
My name is Jeanette.
Jeanette.
My name is Irene.
Irene.
I'm Loretta.
Sam, I am.
Sam, I am. How you doing, Sam? Sorry, your name again?
Norma?
Norma.
Tom?
Tom? Come in.
Virginia?
Virginia.
Laura?
Laura.
Bobby?
Hi.
Next doors. I'm Doris.
Doris?
I'm Kate.
Okay.
I'm Carol.
Carol. Awesome. We can go around the outside circle too. It's not necessary if you don't want to do that. Real quick though, if you don't have a drum or a piece of percussion, there's 4 other ways that you can participate. And that is you can snap, you can clap, you can whack, or you can yak. Oh. So we all got a little piece of percussion in our pockets. So let's get started real quick. Hey, let me see what you got real quick. Nice rumble. Nice rumble. A little softer. A little slower. A little faster. Louder. Slower, softer, softer, slower, slower, softer, softer. No more. Great, great. I think we're going to be off to a good start. So, what I'd like to do first is introduce the 2 main sounds we're going to be playing today. And that's going to be our bass sound, which is a heavy, deep boom boom sound. That's where we get our boom boom for our boom boom diggy. Keep that in mind. And we have our tone sound. So our tone sound is like our bass sound. Our bass sound is played in the middle of our drum. So let's all find the middle of our drum real quick. So your hand should be flat. And in the middle of your drum. Good. So our tone sound is if we take our hand and put it in the middle, and we slide it back a little bit, not quite to where our fingers are on the edge. We want to use this part of our palm. This part of our palm shall find our tone. So we slide it back, and make sure that if you're hitting your drum on top, you want to hit it flat, right? The reason why is you don't want to hit the edge of your thumb on the side of your drum, because that really smarts. There's a nerve ending in there, and you hit it hard enough, those sloppies will be back. So our tone, try alternating hands, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left. Good. So I'll keep playing, I'm going to listen. Very nice. So now, let's practice our bass with our dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'll start with my right. If you're left-handed, you'll start with your left. And we're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to help us develop timing. And we're going to say it out loud because our physical act of us speaking it or saying the rhythm helps us get our hand in time. And that's something we're going to work on all through this event today. So it's going to be, this is going to be our tempo, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands clapping and put them on our drum. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me hear you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the same with our bass. Hands flat at the ready. Find the center of our drum. And just with our dominant hand, just one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me hear you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speed up. Our counting keeps us in time, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And if you don't have a drum, feel free to join in by using the 4 body percussion. Our snaps, our claps, our whacks, and our yaks. 2, 3, a lot of yaks on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Give me a nod if you're comfortable with this. Great, keep going, but switch hands. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We're about to level up here. So now you've got this hand, and you've got this hand. We're going to make them work together. Here we go. We're going to use both hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to alternate hands. And the object of this is to make both hands sound the same. And you want them hitting the same spot on the drum, not necessarily next to each other, but in the same spot. It's going to give us that consistency in our tone and in our tempo. So let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me hear you count. Give me a nod if you got it. Great, sounds great. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. So we're going to speed it up a little bit, not so much the tempo, but we're going to get into our tone, and I think you've got it down with the bass. So we're going to play a little bit on our tone just to be able to hear it and find that placement. Feel free to adjust your hand position to where it's either more comfortable for you, or you can not only hear how it sounds, but you can feel how it sounds. And that's a key element when playing the drums, or any instrument really. It's that connection with your instrument that you can feel it. Connecting with it is a nice vibration it puts off. You can find that roundness in the sound when you're doing it correctly. And I'm really hearing that starting off. So this is going to be an excellent play shop. So let's do our tone. Remember where our tone is, right? We find our bass and we slide our hand back, not off the edge on the rim. The edge of the drum is called the rim. We're going to find that happy spot in between the bass, the center, and the edge. Right about here on my drum. If you have a smaller drum, the distance is going to be shorter, but the idea is the same. So we'll count off. We'll start with both hands. And are we ready? Let me see what you got if you're ready. Guess you're ready. So with me, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, too easy. You were practicing before they got here. Let's speed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's all count together so we stay in synchronicity. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So that's what we're going to work on, or that's what the sounds we're going to be using primarily for the next exercises. I will show you an extra because I think you're that far advanced. And take you on the road. Who's with me? Okay. So the last one I'm going to show you is a slap. It's that high end. So we have our low, middle, that's our bass and our tone, and there's a slap involved. And if you want to add that a little extra spice, a little extra flavor to the mix today, that's all right. If not, that's all right too. So the slap is a tricky one. When I teach the kids, I show them the dog nose. You ever do shadow puppets? You got your shadow dog here, Arfarf? Well, his nose, your two middle fingers here, are meant to be loose. So if you want to try to slap, it's kind of a whipping motion with these fingers on the edge of your drum. So it's, you got your bass, you got your tone, you got your slap. It takes a little more effort on the slap. We'll get to that. So everyone feel comfortable with our bass and our tone, and most importantly, our tempo, right? So there's an attitude we have in Seattle hand drummers and percussion alike, and it's excuse me. So if you can say it, you can play it. And like I said before, the act of you physically speaking, the words sync up with your hands physically playing. They're in the same time, the same tempo, which means you're not having to put thought into it because you're already doing it. Thinking about what you're about to play puts you behind in the rhythm and the tempo, right? That split second it takes for you to think about what you're doing throws you off from what you should be doing. So if you say it, you can play. Good. We're going to get into that with our boom boom diggy. So it'll be pretty active on that. So we all got the bass and the tone. Feel comfortable with that? Yes?
Yes.
So here's our first exercise. I call it the rocking chair. I'm going to go over here and sit down and relax. No, I'm just kidding. The rocking chair is called that because the motion that you make when you play is a rocking motion. Maybe not quite so literally, but your hands will start on the bass, will come back to tone, and then back to bass. So it's bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, bass. And it looks and sounds like this. So it's bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, bass. Now let's try that vocally and clapping. Repeat after me. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, bass. So what we just did, apart from practicing our rhythm exercise, is called call and response. And that's I play or I say and then you play. And we'll get into that too. I'm sure many of you have heard that before. There's in other activities or throughout the years. But we'll do that with instruments as well when we get into our jam. The signal for that for a call and response is, so it's listen, then play. And we're about to get into our hand signals real quick here. So let's try the rocking chair. Everyone ready for that? Feel pretty pumped up? All right. So how does it go one more time? One more time. So it's all together. Ready? Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, bass. Great. Okay. So with me. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass. Bass, tone, 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 bass, bass. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, bass. You play. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, bass. Remember, if you start getting behind, just say it, right? Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, bass. Good. Sounds pretty good. Let's speed it up a little bit. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, tone. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, 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 tone, 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 bass, bass. Bass, bass, tone, 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 bass, bass. Good, that's great. We're going to use that later, so hold on to it. So real quick before we get in to the next exercise, and by the way, pay attention to what happens in the beginning because we're going to put everything together at the end. We're going to make a nice rhythm sandwich. It's going to be delicious. So let's go over some hand signals real quick. So hand signals are a way for myself, the facilitator, to direct the circle without having to shout or interrupt the flow or the groove by speaking into a microphone. So we keep the music going without any hiccups, I guess. So there's a couple simple ones that we'll use. So if you see my hands with my palms up, right, they're going up, we're going to get louder. We're going to raise the volume. Right? If they're down, then we're going to get quieter. You might see me keep going like this. You might see me like this. We're playing right here. Let's bring it down here. Or if I'm pumping them, we're going to continually get softer. Right? You might even see us get so soft that you see these. These are our raindrops. These are our fingertips. If you see my thumbs, and they're going up, we're going to play faster. So, I'm going to play faster. If you see my thumbs go down, it might need a little more practice. Just kidding. We're going to play slower. We're going to play slower. So, thumbs up. Thumbs down. Hands up. What's that? What? Hands down. Hands down more. Hands down more. Great. Remember what this one was? Call and response. So listen and then play. So I play and you play. Now, a lot of times when we'll do that in our groove, I'll do the call and response and we'll change it up. But after we're done with that, those notes that we're playing, or the rhythm that we're playing from call and response, we'll go back into the groove that we were playing. Also, if you see me stopping in the middle of us doing something, I'm just trying to listen. Or if I throw off a little solo there, keep playing the groove until we come to a stop. And I'll show you what our drummer's signal is real quick. It's called a call to attention, and it's a widely used groove or piece that signals either the start of a rhythm, the end of a rhythm, or the end of a solo. And we do that at the end of a solo to let other drummers know that, hey, I'm done soloing, someone else can solo. Because we try not to solo on top of each other because, well, then it's not a solo. So we give drummers a chance to express themselves and then say through rhythm that next person can go. So real quick, the excuse me. Call to attention is, so it's ba-da, bop, bop, ba-da, bop, bop, boom. We all try to end on that boom, so it's the end of our jam, and we'll use that towards the end of our boom boom diggy. So let's real quick repeat after me. So just listen real quick and try to come in on that boom. So. Just try it with the boom. So I'll play the beginning, we'll all come in on the boom. Good. Hey, let me see what you got. Feeling pretty good so far? So there's one more facilitator's hand signal, and that's, I like to either call it the wedge or gesture. So you might see me do something like this, or like this, or individually. So if you see me do that, that means I'm trying to section off a group, and maybe you'll see me do this. That means I'd like this section here to keep playing. I might count down the rest of us, and we'll stop. This section might keep playing, or it might individually go, which means I'd like you to keep playing. And I'll go through. I'd like you to keep playing. I'd like you to keep playing. And then I'll count us down, and we'll keep playing. And we might add some others individually. And what we'll do with that is we'll start up a whole new groove based on what the original bunch was doing. Or we'll have this section be number 1, and this section be number 2. And then I might add some call and response. And let's get to it. I'm gonna put all this stuff in action here real quick so we can make sure that we get to our drum song. But without further ado, let's get into our boom boom diggy. Real quick, check out the slot piece. Check them down. Check them high. Make sure your neighbors didn't have any. Your other neighbors. Oh boy, this is fun. I wish I could do this all day. Be back after dinner. So let's get into our boom boom diggy. The boom boom diggy is just that. The boom boom diggy has a vocal pattern that matches the drum pattern. And it's really simple, but it's a lot of fun. There's also a few hand gestures. So I'm going to demonstrate it real quick for you, and then we'll all get into it. Actually, I might need a rhythm. I'd hate to get off tempo. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what? Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Hey, boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what? Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, real quick, when I do the what part, the first time we do that, we're going to put our hands to our ear, and we're going to go to the right. We're going to lean to the right. What?
What?
Everyone's got to lean the same direction, to your right.
What?
And the second time we do the what, we're all going to lean to our left. What? And when we do our ahs, you know those inflatable advertising guys out there that got the crazy arms? You see them on the side of the road? Or remember Kermit the Frog? Yay! Well, we're doing that, but we're doing it 10 times more. We're really putting the fun in that one. And for that very reason, no other than it's just a lot of fun and a little bit silly. But that's kind of how I roll. So, I'd like nice and loud with the voices. I'm not even going to use this. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da.
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 Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what?
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what?
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah.
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah.
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da.
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 Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what?
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what?
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah.
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah.
Hands at the ready. So we're going to do that very same thing. We're going to go through the boom, boom, diggy one-time clapping, and we're going to do the same thing on our drum. So it's going to look like this. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what? Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, Got it? I think we got it. I think we're ready. Well, let's give it a shot, yeah? So, with me, let's all get into our clapping. We'll kind of warm up. The clapping's always going to be our tempo. So it kind of gives an idea of the spacing that we're going to be using. So without further ado, ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. One time, 2 vocals, call and response. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da.
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 Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what?
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da.
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah.
Boom, boom, diggy,
Drums.
boom, boom, da.
Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what? Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah. You gotta wait for me to do it. So on the whats and the ahs, so you'll play it through when I do my what, and then when you get to your what, I'll be playing. So it's not exactly copying in the same time that I'm doing it. It's a slight delay. So if I'm whatting, you're still drumming, and when you're whatting, I'm drumming. So on the last ah, when I'm doing this, you should still be playing, right? And then you'll play, and then we'll end that. So let's give it one more shot. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, da. Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, what? Boom, boom, diggy, diggy, boom, boom, ah. We're getting it. Wow, that goes quick, doesn't it? So let's get the boom boom diggy going a bit. Are we done at 4, or is there any? Okay, so let's get through this, and I got one more for you. We're gonna squeeze it in. So let's all play together and just gotta work on that rhythm. We don't have to do the vocal part. We'll add it in there, but not right at the beginning. So we'll just play it together and see how that sounds. Yeah, we'll have a little jam. So 1, 2, 3, 4.